largest empires in history. It wasn't just about conquest. It was about a powerful set of rules called the Asa. Let's dive into some of his most fascinating laws. First, loyalty to the Khan was absolute. Disobedience wasn't an option. Honesty was also key. Stealing or lying could get you in serious trouble. Interestingly, he enforced religious freedom. As long as you followed Mongol law, you could practice any faith you chose. Equality was a big deal. The same laws applied to everyone, from a nobleman to a commoner. Women were respected, and family was highly valued. Plus, after a battle, all the spoils were divided fairly among the soldiers. He even made sure the wealthy helped the poor, widows, and orphans. These rules created a disciplined and surprisingly stable society. What do you think? Ever wonder how one man could make entire empires tremble? Let's dive into the top 10 rules of Attila, the Hun, the legendary scourge of God. First, he ruled through strength and fear, believing power was everything. Second, he never showed weakness. For him, hesitation was defeat. Third, he united scattered tribes into a single, unstoppable force. His fourth rule was to strike fast and hard, using speed and surprise as his ultimate weapons. Fifth, he demanded strict discipline. Disobedience meant death. Sixth, he believed in taking what you deserve through conquest, not inheritance. Seventh, he weaponized his own reputation, using fear to win battles before they even started. Eighth, he was fiercely loyal to his own people, rewarding them for their unwavering support. Ninth, he demanded respect, not friendship, valuing obedience above all. And finally, his 10th rule was to leave a mark on history. Goals like an emperor. Here are the top 10 rules of Napoleon Bonaparte, condensed into 60 seconds. First, believe in your destiny. Napoleon saw himself as a man of greatness, and this unshakable confidence fueled his ambition. Second, knowledge is power. He was a lifelong learner, constantly studying history and military strategy to outthink his rivals. Third, discipline above all. He demanded it from himself and his troops, knowing that order and timing win wars. Fourth, led by example. He shared hardships with his soldiers, earning their fierce loyalty. Fifth, use speed and surprise. His strategy was all about moving fast and striking when least expected. Sixth, make decisions quickly. As he said, when the time for action comes, stop thinking and go in. Seventh, reward talent, not birth. He promoted based on merit, not family names. Eighth, control through organization. He built strong systems, like the famous Napoleonic Code. Ninth, master your image. He used symbols and speeches to inspire a powerful reputation. And 10th, turn defeat into strength. He learned from every loss. A true Roman powerhouse. It wasn't just his army, it was his mindset. Here are the top rules that turned a man into a legend. First, think big and aim high. Caesar didn't just want a piece of Rome, he wanted all of it. He led by example, fighting alongside his soldiers, earning their undying loyalty. He was a master strategist who used intelligence, not just brute force, to outsmart his rivals. He knew real power came from the people, so he won their support with reforms and public works. He was bold, famously crossing the Rubicon, proving that fortune favors the brave. He rewarded loyalty, forgave enemies strategically, and reformed Rome from the ground up, even giving us the Julian calendar. Ultimately, Caesar lived to create a legacy so powerful that his name became the word for ruler. Your own set of twisted rules. Let's dive into the mind of Rome's most infamous emperor, Nero. His first rule? Power before everything. He put his own pleasure above the needs of the entire Roman Empire. Rule number 2? Silence all opposition. Criticize him, and you'd face exile or worse, even if he were his own family. He ruled through fear, ensuring no one dared challenge him. While the empire struggled, Nero indulged in luxury, spending fortunes on lavish palaces and feasts. He saw himself as a grand artist, using public shows to distract from his failures. When the Great Fire of Rome struck, he simply blamed others to protect his image. His paranoia and cruelty eventually led to rebellion, and his reign ended in madness. What a fall from grace. If you find history's dark side fascinating, king who became one of history's greatest peacemakers, that's the incredible story of Ashoka the Great. After the brutal Kalinga War, he was so horrified by the bloodshed that he completely changed his ways. His number one rule became seeking peace over violence. He started to rule with compassion, believing a king should care for everyone, even animals. He embraced Dharma, making justice and morality the foundation of his government. Ashoka promoted religious tolerance, a revolutionary idea for his time, and saw himself as a servant of the people, not their master. He built hospitals for both humans and animals, spread education, and sent messengers of peace to other lands. Ashoka didn't just talk the talk. He lived a simple life, leading by example. He showed the world that true power lies not in conquest, but in kindness. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like and subscribe from the great. Well, great. It wasn't just his army, it was his mindset. Here are his top rules for conquering life, condensed for today's world. First, believe in your destiny. Alexander saw himself as a son of Zeus. That confidence was his superpower. Next, never stop learning. His teacher was Aristotle. He knew knowledge was the ultimate weapon. He led by example, fighting on the front lines with his men. He united, never divided, blending cultures to build a stronger empire. He was brave, decisive, and always acted without hesitation. He rewarded loyalty and talent, promoting based on skill, not status. He thought bigger than anyone, aiming to conquer the known world. And finally, he left a legacy. He built cities and shaped history forever. So, take a page from Alexander's book. Believe in yourself. Keep learning and dare to dream big. What will your legacy be? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more. Have you ever wondered what it takes to be called a terrible? Let's dive into the ruthless rules of Russia's first Tsar, Ivan IV. First, he ruled with absolute power, believing he was God's chosen leader with total control. Second, he crushed all enemies without mercy. No one, not even family, was safe from his wrath. Third, he used fear to maintain order, believing terror was the best way to keep people obedient. He strengthened central authority by breaking the power of the nobles and expanded Russia into a massive empire by conquering new lands. Ivan controlled the church to justify his divine rule and generously rewarded those loyal to him. But betray him, and you'd face brutal, public punishment. He built magnificent structures like St. Basil's Cathedral to symbolize his power. But ultimately, his greatest rule was to trust no one. Kingdom. Meet Bahadur Shah Zafar, the last Mughal emperor, whose rules for life were more powerful than any army. Let's dive into his top life lessons. First, he led with dignity, even when his power was fading. He championed peace, uniting Hindus and Muslims, believing unity was India's greatest strength. A brilliant poet himself, Zafar turned his court into a hub for Urdu literature and art. He ruled with compassion, not cruelty, and respected every faith, seeing religion as a bridge, not a wall. When the 1857 rebellion began, he became its reluctant but powerful symbol, standing for India's freedom. Even after being exiled to Rangoon, he faced his fate with grace, writing poems of sorrow and resilience. His story teaches us that true power lies not in a throne, but in honor, wisdom, and an unbreakable